Hey everybody, my name is Paul. I'm the VP of Ops at devCodeCamp, and today I am joined by a recent grad, Forrest Morrisey. Forrest, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it. Now you graduated not too long ago, and I would imagine if you can give a little background. One of the things that I notice is most people, they're addressing a problem, whether it's they're not happy with what they're doing, they're not satisfied, they're not making enough money, whatever the reasons are. They identify this problem and they decide, okay, today I'm going to make a change. What were you doing before, and what led you to a career in software development?
That's an excellent question. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, so before I got to get devCodeCamp, I was actually a STEM and design educator here in the Milwaukee area. And one of the things I loved about being an educator was having the opportunity to share knowledge and to teach people, but also to just create things. So whether that was creating an experience for somebody, creating a new print for a class, creating a robot to challenge new ideas. I was really fortunate to have a position where I could take all my different kind of, jack of trades, so to speak, gifts and talents, and to be able to engineer solutions and create new designs and all sorts of things for people. And after a while, I was starting to get a little bit older, and I started to realize that, I didn't see myself being a school teacher when I was 35. And I started to look at myself as I was getting older, and I thought, when I was younger, I really enjoyed, because, I would see all these kids, and I would, inspire these kids and, try to help them chase their dreams and see the light bulb go off in their head over, something as simple as, putting toothpicks together with a marshmallow. And it was really inspiring. And I kept wanting to find that within myself. And I remember when I was a kid, especially in middle and high school, I really loved computers, and I really loved, drawing. I was all the kid that had his nose in a notebook, and I was drawing something and not really paying attention to the board. And I really loved Visual Basics and web design. And this was, back in the day when web design was using Notepad. And when you had a syntax error, there was no squiggly line to fix it. You had to go back and actually look at it. It was really challenging.
Right.
And, as life happened, I went in a different direction. I got a degree in anthropology. And so in the last year, I was just really unhappy with, the day-to-day. Sure, I loved making the kids' day great, and I was, loved inspiring them. But like I said, it was just, I wanted to build a better career for myself, and to be able to take my skills and my knowledge and my talent and put it somewhere where I could have a bigger challenge. And I wanted more ultimately.
And now with these additional skills, you still can do those fun things working with those kids and donate your time, because we both know it is absolutely needed to help more kids get more involved in STEM. There's no doubt about it. So you decided, okay, time to go in a different direction. The first thing that you did was actually months and months ago, you and I got together for an info session, and kind of talk to me a little bit about what you were expecting and what ended up happening. Were they the same, or what were your thoughts about that?
So before our info session, I've heard here and there about code camps, about boot camps, and I've heard widely different things. And with the internet, anyone can call themselves an educator, and anyone can call themselves a certificate program, and anyone can call themselves, a boot camp. And I had a friend who took one of those, boot camps. It was a nighttime class, and I saw that she had some success in it, but it was only at night. They didn't support her very well. There was no instructor. It was just basically YouTube videos, and she paid a bunch of money for access to YouTube videos. And so before our info session, I was kind of just wanted to hear what you guys had to say. And what I really saw was, well, the reputation that devCode has. I've talked to people who have gone through devCodeCamp, have experienced devCodeCamp, had a good success with the program, you have partnerships with people in the industry. You're not just some guy on the internet with YouTube videos. You're actually a community, and you have connections with the larger community here in Milwaukee. And I was really impressed with that. And what we'll talk about in a moment here is probably the career services as well. That as well was ensured me that you weren't just going to let me go and run off into the woods and somehow have to, find the forest from the tree, so to speak.
Yeah, the goal is not just to teach you how to code. I mean, the goal is to help you get a job. That is the end goal. We expect you to be able to learn how to code. Then the real goal is helping you get that job. And, you know, most people have never navigated that process to become a software developer. So we're going to be here to help you out. You know, you talked a little bit about it, online learning. It isn't anything new, but there can be those dramatic differences. Can you talk a little bit more about your online learning experience with devCodeCamp, the instructors and the interaction and things like that?
Yeah. So right before I left teaching, we'd actually, you know, switched to online learning. I saw how that worked in that system. And then devCode actually had already nailed it down pretty good. You guys had a really good support. I never felt like I was kind of floating alone by myself. You know, there was a nice system, a portal to be able to go day by day. And I knew each day what the schedule was. The schedule was, you know, was consistent. I knew the resources was right there. I knew what I needed to do that day. I didn't feel like I was just floating around. It didn't feel chaotic. It felt like a good structure and a good system. And that was something that, you know, sure, I could have just sat on unemployment and taught myself from YouTube videos, but it wouldn't have that support and that structure and that motivation that devCode would have gave me.
And it does sound cliche, but it really does come down to the people. I mean, our instructional staff actually cares about what happens with you when you go through this camp. They're checking in with you every day. You're meeting with them every day. You're doing your daily stand-ups. You're never, you know, left out on an island. You're never waiting for questions to be answered. That's huge because, you know, a lot of people find themselves in those situations where it's a Monday and they get to talk to their mentor on a Wednesday and they get frustrated. They're like, well, what do I do for 2 days? That doesn't happen here. And plus, you get to work with a lot of really like-minded people, whether it be instructors or, you know, those other individuals in your cohort. You know, what we do here is project-based learning. It's hands-on. Two of my favorite things are the group capstone and the solo capstone. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you guys did in your group and your solo?
Sure. We had a group capstone, and that was a lot of fun. By that point, you know, I'd gotten to know some of the other students. The one downside of online learning is I didn't get to have that day-to-day facial interaction with everyone, and I didn't get to have that interaction of just peeking over to somebody's computer as you would in person. But by that point, you know, the whole team gets together. We learn about other people. I've worked with a couple of people on some projects beforehand, and yeah, the group capstone for our project, we did a social event app called Happening, and we wanted to take kind of the best of, like, you know, Facebook and, you know, meetups and some other event apps, and we kind of wanted to create our own idea. And we integrated it with Google APIs. We took ASP.NET as the main functionality of this, and we got really down and dirty, and we created this really neat, clean-looking user interface. And the cool thing with devCodeCamp is that we had the opportunity to, you know, I get to kind of get past that initial hurdle that some of the other junior developers get to have, and working with a team remotely and learning how to do all of that. I was very fortunate that the instructors saw something in me and they said, we're going to make you the team leader for the group capstone. And in that position, I kind of just took what I had learned as being a STEM educator and actually, you know, training interns and other volunteers over the years, and just kind of took that leadership skills and used it as ability to create a really cool project. And the group capstone turned out really, really well. For my solo capstone, it would, you know, on my own, I challenged myself to do something that wasn't a part of the curriculum. So up to that point, it had been pretty much primarily ASP.NET, MVC, and then we also did Python and Jinja. And Python, Jinja, Flask was a lot of fun, working with a different stack. The cool thing I think that devCode did really well was that it got us prepared to be able to just within a week go from, you know, ASP.NET MVC to then suddenly we're doing something on kind of the other side of the spectrum, but the concepts and the ideas are still there, because at the end of the day, a lot of those different stacks are very similar, and they have parallels with each other. So for my solo project, I wanted to challenge myself, and I said, okay, well, Merge Stack is the big thing right now. This is going to help me get further along in my career, and I wanted to challenge myself. And I said, well, what's more challenging than Merge Stack? Well, let's make an e-commerce site as well, because let's make things hard for myself. So with the Merge Stack, I created an e-commerce application for bike shops. And in 3 weeks, I put together a site, cleaned it up, polished it. And I got to say, you know, a year ago, I was teaching kids simple like Python chatbots and drawing lines on the screen using the turtle package using Python. And here I am a year later making a really complex MERN stack application, front to back, everything from the server-side database to the look and feel of the UI to making things mobile responsive, and then jumping back and being comfortable in doing so, and also being able to have the confidence to go out and find those answers when they just weren't there. And I could find themselves and be able to create something really cool. And I'm really blown away that I was able to do that.
That's awesome. You know, you said it. I mean, it's not just about the language. It's about helping you understand how to learn. Because we do know that you're going to have to learn new things. That's my favorite part about the capstones is, you know, it starts with your idea, and then you have to plan it. You have to research it. You have to architect it. You know, you were the team lead. You had to manage your team and work together. You get this more holistic view of software development, and that's why our graduates get hired, is because you know, they understand the software development life cycle. They're not just following along. So now that you're a graduate, you are immersed in the career services section. It's all about the job hunt. Tell me a little bit about the support that you've gotten.
Well, so far I've already met with Megan and Eric, and both of them have been like cheerleaders a little bit. Eric's got a lot of industry knowledge, which is cool, and Megan's got a really good attitude, and she's got a lot of knowledge herself in it. She herself is graduated in the last year, and then Eric's got tons of industry knowledge, and it's great having that support from people. You know, it's something that you just wouldn't get from following YouTube videos online and following along with some tutorials. There's actually someone there who supports you, wants to make sure that you're going to get the support you need. There's the connections that comes with it as well. And then you also have the other graduates who you can work with together and as a team. And it kind of becomes more of a team effort rather than just being all by myself, frantically looking for someone and feel like I'm just kind of lost in the wilderness. It's a nice community here in this program. Everyone from the instructors to your cohort to the other cohorts that haven't graduated yet, even to the people who have graduated and to people who have found jobs. And that even goes for people who came to devCodeCamp 3 years ago. I talked to a few of them, and you know, she had wonderful things to say. I've seen the success she had with the program, and you know, it's like a school almost. It's like going to college, except it doesn't come with the burdens that a 4-year or even a 2-year program would have. And that's really impressive, I gotta say.
Awesome. So there's somebody out there right now thinking, you know, hey, you know, I'm on the fence on whether or not I do a boot camp like devCodeCamp. What would you tell them?
Be prepared. You know, it's going to take work, but if you have the tenacity and if you have enough confidence in yourself and you want to try it, go for it. Come up, be ready. I prepared a lot beforehand. I didn't come in with like completely unprepared. I came in prepared because I wanted to get ahead and I wanted to do well. What you put into the program, you're going to get out of it. And if you show up with the right attitude and you get up on time and you treat this like school and you treat this like your future, you're going to plant some great seeds and you will harvest them very quickly in 3 months.
And as you know, you will never be ahead of it. If you're ready for more, we'll give you more. We're never going to slow you down, ever.
Oh, yeah.
Forrest, continued success. I look forward to seeing where this takes you. And hopefully we can do this again in another couple of years and see where you end up, you know, as you can continue to progress.
Can't wait. Yeah. It's exciting. I feel like I'm just on the cusp of something great. And I just look forward to whatever the future brings and bring my talents to a wonderful team anywhere in the world.
Awesome. Thanks, Forrest.
Thank you.